Hey guys, welcome back. So today I want to talk to you about what to do when you realize that you're getting followed. I'm gonna tell you about something about what happened to me, how I reacted. I'm gonna point out my mistakes, and then I'm gonna tell you what you should do. So, any type of reaction that gang stalkers get from you is a confirmation that they are being successful, that you have noticed them. Everything that they do is having you notice them. So first, the first time that before I knew that gang stalking was real, I was getting followed by people that like they were in their cars and then they did the gang stalking signal. Like at the moment that you look at them, they just go like that. But like I know it seems harmless, but the moment that car leaves and then another car comes and then does the same thing, the moment that you look at them, that's when you know that gangs that they're following you because everyone is doing the thing, the gang stalking signal. Now they're slamming their doors really hard by your car, or they are pointing their headlights directly at you. At this point, you just are uncomfortable. They are making you aware. They're sensitizing you. You know, sensitizing is pretty much by making you uncomfortable with their signals, which is the headlights, the gang stalking signal, the car door slamming, the loud music right next to you. So it is changing your perceptions. So headlights will make you slightly uncomfortable. People doing that will cause you a physiological reaction and an emotional reaction. Like you're gonna have a negative sensation. Also, you're gonna repeat the thought, "Oh, they're following me." You know, that's gonna be happening, and that's how they train you to have that negative thought. It's a reflex. So you're pretty much being trained to have that thought whenever you see that. So with time, that thought is going to be so automatic, so that whenever you see headlights during the day, you're going to be thinking they're gang stalkers, they're following me, because you were sensitized to have that thought. So what I did when this happened, I began taking pictures of the license plates. I recorded them. I was explicitly recording them, you know, so that they would know that I was recording. So I was in a parking lot and was recording I was taking pictures of the license plates when this Asian guy walked up to me. He said, "What are you doing?" And you know, at the moment, I was convinced that he was a gang stalker. You know, because my perceptions had been successfully turned over. They had been successfully twisted. And he just left and ignored me like I was a crazy person because I was behaving like one, but I didn't know it yet. At that moment, I saw someone like far away, like this, with an evil grin, you know, with a narcissistic grin, with a duper's delight. Like they had gotten away with something. He was laughing and he was just like, "So what are you gonna do about it?" And I don't remember. That's all I remember. I don't remember what else I said, but I remember that I was really, really mad. So at this point, people are gonna tell you, "Oh, get the license plates." You're gonna see that information everywhere. Get the license plates. Confront them or whatever. But you have to know that there's gonna be a time where you're not gonna know if they're following you or not. You are gonna be fueled by confusion. So you're gonna be, because you have been sensitized to perceive that, or perceive the coughs maybe, or perceive this, or to perceive the car door slamming or the headlights. you are not gonna know whether it's just a normal person living their lives or if it's a gang stalker. So they sensitize you first, and they wind you up, and then you just keep running on your own with those perceptions. So the moment that you start recording, the moment that you start confronting people, it's the moment that you are confirming to the gang stalkers that they have successfully turned your perceptions around. You, by your actions, are confirming to the gang stalkers that they have already successfully twisted your perceptions. So what do? What you have to do is become more aware of what's happening to you. You have to become aware that you are confused, that your perceptions have been twisted, and that you are very likely to confuse people living their lives with people actually following you. So what you should do is first become aware of the thoughts that you're having. Second, whenever you have a thought, you have to tell yourself, you have to just know, well, if you watch this, I'm glad, because now you know what's happening to you. But what you have to do is pretty much know what they're doing. By knowing what they're doing, you're going to be able to keep your feet in reality. You're going to be able to keep your perceptions normal, unharmed. Because now you are getting informed of what they're actually doing to you. So become aware of what's happening. And two, you are not going to be able to do anything about the sensitizing. You're not. They're not going to stop. So what you can do is literally just pretend like nothing is happening. As soon as you see the door car slam, you literally just look at your phone, look at some videos, ignore it completely. But when you have a negative sensation, just feel it and move on and cut it off. Cut it off, and then just do whatever it is that you were gonna do. If you're using drugs, do something that is gonna take your mind away from that, or use drugs, but you still have to keep the gang stalkers away. So gang stalkers will be taking your privacy away. What can you do? Well, by taking your privacy away, I mean they're going to be following you everywhere. They're going to be doing the gang stalking sign. They're going to try to get access to you via trying to meet you. So what you have to do is that you have to be aware that the people that are getting close to you are going to be either gang stalkers or not gang stalkers. And what happens when gang stalkers are continuously surrounding you, you are going to be confusing people with gang stalkers. So at this point, it is better for you to just stay on your own and stay away from people that make you feel uneasy, that make you feel confusion, that are doing weird things about them. Kick them out. Get rid of them immediately, because they are going to further pull you into the game. So what you do is literally just completely and utterly, you have to be by yourself. The only time that you can actually have people around is people that make you feel comfort. So you can identify gang stalkers by how they're making you feel. If you are around someone and it feels and they just feel weird, they make you feel uneasy, don't speak to them anymore. Don't speak to them anymore. You have to get them out of your life. Even, and they're gonna ask you, why is it that you, what have I done? Have I done anything? You tell them, no, you deny it. Because the moment that you tell them, oh, you're a gang stalker or you're doing things, they're gonna say that you're crazy. So what you do is you don't do anything. You just be like, oh, I'm not feeling well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to have wasted your time. I feel like you need to go. You just get rid of them and don't give them any explanation why. They're gonna ask you why, because they want you to explain that to them. That way they can be like, oh, you're seeing things. So they want you to give them an opportunity to sound crazy. No, they want you to say something that will make you sound crazy, so that they have the opportunity to gaslight you. So what do? You do not give them the opportunity to gaslight you by not saying anything. You simply be like, oh, I'm just not feeling well. I'm sorry. And then I think you need to go, or I'm better off by myself. So if that's all you do. You eliminate any opportunity for them to gaslight you. Now, if people will be, or people that you don't know will be doing weird things, such as move like idiots behind you, say things, make weird noises, and once you confront them, they're gonna act like, oh, you're crazy. Why are you talking to me like that? I did that. I was at a hotel and I was extending my night, and there was someone behind me. So I turned around and the person was like, I was gonna extend my night when I was at this hotel, and I was in line and by the check-in, and there was this guy behind me, and I turned around. I was waiting in line comfortably, not bothering anyone, and this guy behind me was like, like that, like a fucking idiot. So then I turned around, and then I was like, okay, that's weird. So then I just turned back, and then he just began going like, and then he just again began movements. So then I turned back fast, and then I saw him like get into position, and he was shaking his body so wildly that he was like agitated. So I knew what he was doing, but I was like, what the fuck are you doing that? And he was saying, dude, why are you talking to me like that? You're crazy. Like, immediately taking on the opportunity to call me crazy. So what do? When this is happening, you don't look back. You don't look at them. So they're not gonna do anything to you. They're not gonna touch you. They're gonna do absolutely nothing. They just want you to turn around so that you look at them, confront them, and then they will call you crazy. So they are going to deny your reality. So what you do is that it might be uncanny, it might feel weird. It happened to me a lot of times. But what you do is you just completely ignore it. Like, also they're gonna be doing a lot of sounds behind your back. Like, that happened to me a lot of times. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the first time it was really, really crazy. Like, I was so confused, because I wanted to turn around, and when I didn't, and I learned how to actually not turn around and not panic because I knew what they were doing, only then I was able to cut the gang stalking short. So when people are doing that to you, you have to not turn around, not react, nothing. Don't acknowledge it. Just don't acknowledge it. Things are gonna get really sketchy. Really, really sketchy. And all you have to do is pretty much ignore it. Like, people are gonna try to deceive you. Like, they're gonna try to make you think that they bugged your car by, when you're looking, they're gonna just crouch next to your car, and they're gonna look around, look suspicious, and then they're gonna get up and walk away to make you think that they bugged your car. They're gonna make you They're gonna do things to make you believe that they're following you. They can even, like, let's say that you're somewhere. Someone can actually walk by and be like, and hold like on their ear, like if they were having like an earpiece, and be like, yeah, he's here. He's wearing a white shirt. He's doing this and this and that, or yeah, he's recording. Be careful, like that, to deceive you further into everyone being able to communicate with each other. So it's all a trick. So what do? You just have to know it's all a trick. And as soon as you feel the negative sensation, all you have to do is, if you're watching this video, you know that it's not real, and they are not going to be able to move further in the game because you're just ignoring it. But they're going to try to push and push and push. They're going to be doing as many crazy things as possible. If you're using drugs, they're going to be doing the typical drug high people sketchy things, such as stomping the floor on your door, knocking, standing by your door, running a lot through the window where you can see the shadow, being really loud neighbors, having a walkie-talkie, making walkie-talkie sounds right where you're at, things like that. Or sound like the cops, standing by your window and then just whispering out things. Just things like that. Things to make you trip out, to make you paranoid. So, yeah. Or like look behind you and like open their eyes wide, like if there's something behind you. Like there's an endless amount of things that they're gonna do. Like if it's like a friend can actually like hug you, and then behind your back he can extend his hand like that, and that shit just feels uncanny. It feels creepy. Or like do peripheral vision things, because you see blurry during when someone is in your peripheral vision, so they can move like really fast and it's gonna look like you're in the Matrix, like there's glitches in your reality. That's just what it looks like, and everyone around you is gonna be doing that. But what you can do is simply just ignore it. And it took me a long time to learn how to ignore this, because I had to learn to see it for what it was. So what you do is literally just know that it's all a trick. So I began doing the same things that they were doing to me. That's how I reacted to this. So like I began doing the walkie-talkie thing, to like guys that I know were stalking me. If I knew that we're staying in this particular hotel room, I would walk by the door and then just slam my foot on the floor really freaking loud, and then like walk away. Like I would do that, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel satisfaction. But you shouldn't do anything. So it's gonna make you feel like they are stealing your privacy. Once I was, watching pornography. I was in a hotel room and I was doing drugs, and someone was literally just standing on my window. So what? So they were like, when I was, in my car, they're gonna literally just be watching you. So what do? You have to, one, this is gonna sound weird and it's gonna sound really counterintuitive, but you don't allow it to affect your sense of privacy. So they know that they're making you uncomfortable. But look, if you're in your car, I was in my car and I had all my windows covered up. You couldn't see anything, but people would be like, they're trying to see into my car. Now, what do? I should have just kept doing what I was doing and not allow it to have my privacy felt violated, because that's its purpose. They have the purpose of making you feel uncomfortable anywhere, and if you don't allow it to make you feel uncomfortable, then they're gonna stop because it's not working. So what happened? So I was, let's see what else. So there was one time where I was doing drugs in my car, and people were trying to just like look into my car, But one thing, what the fuck do they have to even be looking into? I was in a secluded area, parked by myself. It was none of their business. So what I should have, and I'm gonna tell you, I have done this now. Where I've done it where I'm masturbating in my car, and gangstalkers are trying to walk by, and guess what I did? I kept going. I looked them right in the eye, and guess what? They stopped walking by. I completely ignored them, and they just left. They stopped bothering me because so they when you start to show concern or discomfort, they will keep going, and you're gonna see if people are gonna be doing like behind me. I remember there was someone watching into my car, and someone was going, "What the fuck, man? What the fuck?" Every time. So I ignored the what the fuck because it was 3 in the morning. No one, why is there gonna be someone in my car like watching what I'm doing at 3 in the morning? There should be no one there. So guess what? I kept going. And guess what? That was the last time that happened. After that, they stopped bothering me inside my car. They stopped. Why? Because I didn't allow it. I didn't allow my privacy to be violated. And it's hard to do. It's really, really difficult. It is probably one of the most difficult things I have done is to literally just ignore people around me, that are trying to look at what I'm doing when I'm having a private moment in my car, But I didn't allow it, and I finished, and I saw them leaving, and they were mad because their whole intent was to make me feel anxiety by not allowing me to finish. But I didn't allow them to do that because I know that's what they want, because they have done it to me many times, and it worked previously. It really worked. But I was just done. So if you're doing something in private that is illegal, such as smoking crystal meth, what do? Especially if it's so, you have to look at the entire picture. Like in my case, it was 3 in the morning. It was in an isolated area. I had my windows covered. No one had any business watching what I'm doing. So I just kept doing what I was doing unbothered. Or I was bothered, but I pretending to not be bothered. And they tried harder and harder and harder to impose themselves onto my privacy. But I stuck to my guns. I didn't allow it, and and guess what? They got tired and they left. If you allow it to bother you, they're gonna bother you more, and they're gonna do it for longer. Because their tactics of making you feel uncomfortable are being successful. So that's how you deal with that. You do not allow your privacy to be violated. When I was in the hotel room and I was doing drugs and watching pornography, I have the privacy of a hotel room. I should have not allowed anyone to violate my privacy when I'm paying for privacy. So, I haven't done that in a long time, but next time, if it happens, if someone is standing right at my door, in my hotel room, when I'm by myself, whatever it is that I'm doing, watching porn, it doesn't matter. It's my damn hotel room. And they have no right to impose themselves on my privacy. And I should have just ignored it. Or just been like, what the fuck are you doing there? What the fuck are you listening to? What are you doing there? Get the fuck away from my door. That's exactly what I should have done. And that's what I'm going to be doing next time. When I wasn't that, I should have, that's exactly what I should have done. But what did I do? I lowered the volume, I stopped the porn, and then I just waited until they left. And guess what? They were there standing for longer. because they were trying to impose themselves on my privacy. They wanted to make me feel uncomfortable. They wanted to make me feel the presence of someone making me uncomfortable. When you do not allow any of that behavior, any of those tactics to inflict, to make you feel uncomfortable, when you don't allow that, they're not going to know what to do. They're going to stop because you are becoming unfuckwithable. Their tactics, the way that you do not allow their tactics of privacy violation is by behaving like if they are not violating your privacy, or by defending your privacy aggressively, like I should have done when that person was standing in front of my hotel room. I was paying for privacy, and I should have freaking called, you know, the hotel service person and be like, hey, someone is standing right at my door. Why is this happening? Or, you know, I should have defended my privacy aggressively, and that's something I didn't do. When someone was sitting in my car, I should be like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you looking at? I should have done that. What the fuck are you looking at is what I should have done. And you know, now because I have experience, I can do that now. However, I went the other route on just ignoring it and kept going. And a lot of times, you know, I think I would have had to have the cops involved. You know, if I wasn't doing anything illegal and I was sleeping in my car, I could have just called the cops and be like, oh yeah, there's people harassing me when I'm in my car. I'm homeless and there's people harassing me. I have no idea what the fuck I didn't even think about that before. Oh yeah, I forgot I was smoking crystal meth. But well, if you're not doing anything illegal and there's people harassing you, you have the right to call the cops. You have the right to get someone else involved. If you're in a hotel room and people are violating your privacy, you could just call the front desk. Hey, someone is bothering me. I'm paying for privacy and I'm not getting that. So, well, that's how you fight it. Well, I think I'm done talking for this video. I'm gonna do a part 2 on protecting, on how to deal when you find out that gang stalkers are bothering you or are following you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.